Hi, Neil here with Covers Camo, your source for custom seat covers. We got kind of a windy day here in Utah. Today we're putting on the 2014 Hyundai Tucson seat covers, and this is in a black soft touch, so it's just gonna be a nice OEM type look, kind of a leather look to it. So come on in, let's check this out. As you can see, the interior has some black accents, some dark browns, and some charcoals to it. The seats right now, being a 2014, does have some wear in it. So you can see that, you know, the back's a little bit worn, but then also this bottom, a lot of wearing right there in the bottom section, also a little bit of a hole right there showing a little bit of the foam. But overall, the foam is in decent shape, is really good shape. So we don't need to do any kind of foam repair on this. Just gonna be the seat covers there. Now let's look at the back seats as well. Now this cloth shows everything. It's just hard to clean. As you can see, you know, there's been water, pop stains down here, and that's all showing up right there. And nice thing about these covers that we're putting on this vehicle today is that it's gonna be so much easier for the customer to clean. They're not gonna be showing these stains anymore, and it's just gonna really dress up the vehicle, look a lot better. And the soft touch is an upholstery grade vinyl, real durable vinyl. So simulated leather is what we like to call it, and again, it looks and feels a lot like a leather does. Okay, so that's what the seats are looking like already. Now, a couple things I want you to grab before you start your install is there's gonna be an install tool. It's a little fiber stick, white like this. So you're gonna grab that. That's gonna help trim out some of the corners there. The other thing is gonna be a pair of gloves. I really recommend a lightweight, kind of a mechanics type lightweight pair of gloves. That saves your hands and knuckles, because as we're installing here, as you see throughout this, it can be a little bit rough on your hands. So get a pair of gloves on, and then your fiber stick, and that's really the only tool that you need in most cases. So let's get going on this. So there is this flap right here that has these little hooks. Super easy. You just reach underneath and you just kind of unhook these. They're just hooked onto a spring down there. So I'm gonna unhook it now because I'm gonna need those released to install the bottom seat cover. And I'm not gonna completely finish this top seat cover right now because I'm gonna install the bottom one and then finish this one. And this one will just stick to that felt flap right there. And then that's gonna go underneath and kind of pull in underneath there, okay? But I'm gonna pause there for right now on the backrest, and then we're gonna do the bottom section because we need to push it through this section right here, okay? So this is the driver bottom section. We're gonna put this one on now. What I've done with this backrest, instead of pushing it through right now and kind of finishing out this backrest, I'm actually gonna take this and fold it up a little bit right there to expose that so I can push this through. Because this has a special install technique that I'm gonna show you. Also, I know this is the driver backrest because this customer opted for the driver side pistol holster right here, so that tucks in right there. It's a little tight for them when they have a hard console like this, but that pistol holster works really nice for a cell phone. Okay, you just slide a cell phone into that and it just sticks right there, so then you get your cell phone out of your cup holders, you know? So that's a great pocket right there. Most vehicles, it's used for a pistol, but again, you use a cell phone as well. Gonna get this positioned, get my strings ready, and I'll get it into place. Let me show you this here too. This is what's unique, kind of a nice install technique that we came up with, was this back piece of Velcro right here. This is on the bottom cover, but then after we install this bottom cover and that's all finished out, then I'm gonna take this backrest belt right here, push that through, and then it's gonna stick onto this bottom Velcro right here. So those are gonna, that's how the front of this cover is gonna get pushed down and kind of cinched in right there. So those two are gonna actually attach to each other. So for right now though, folding on this up, away, and then I'm gonna take this piece right here, start pushing it through. This is the most important place that you want gloves, okay? Because, again, you're pushing in kind of a tight spot right there. Really kind of hit up your knuckles inside here, and also there's Velcro that can kind of cut up your hands a little bit. Okay, so I'm just getting everything kind of positioned. I am gonna use my plastic trim tool right here on the outside Okay, so I'm gonna push this side piece in to the plastic trim here, okay? I'm gonna do that is just get it ready, prepare it up right there, and then finish it out by pushing it through with the fiber stick. Same thing right here. That's how you get this nice trimmed out look right there. Is doing that. Now this string, I see a lot of customers take it around the outside. No, bad. Don't do that. What you're gonna wanna do, this looks so much better, is if you take this string and drop it on the inside of that plastic right there, okay? You're gonna push it through there, it's gonna drop down to the bottom, and then I'm gonna get it on the other side and bring it around to the back. I realize that there's one other tool that you're gonna need for this, and it's a piece of duct tape, okay? So what you're gonna do is, originally I was talking about putting the string in kind of further back here, but on this particular set, it's just a real deep and a real tight fit right there on this plastic trim. So it's actually gonna be better if you go farther back, and you can kind of see right there in that section, you can open that, open that seat, and then you can kind of see the space down there. And I can even check it and push my fiber stick down through there. And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna take that fiber stick out, take this string, take one end of it, and gonna just stick it on right there to that duct tape just temporarily, okay? And then we're gonna take that and push this guy through, okay? So that's taking the string and the fiber stick through right there, okay? Now we're gonna come around and look at the other side. Reach underneath, there's that fiber stick right there with the string attached. Okay, so you just pull that through. That's gonna be the best way to get the string through on this Tucson. Okay, usually it's not as tricky. Usually you can just pop the string through without having to do that little duct tape trick, but that's gonna be the way to do it on this one. Okay, now that I got that string, this string through, that's the hardest part really on this bottom piece. And so now I'm gonna push these through. Okay, so this is the rest of the bottom cover with these straps. These straps are gonna end up going underneath the seat to really secure it on. So I'm just pushing all that through right there, and I'm lining up these two sides, making sure everything is pushed through. It should be pretty flat, and I can push my hand through decently now that it's all pushed through there. Okay, and I'm just gonna finish kind of making sure everything is conforming around how I want it to and all this before I really start tightening things down. This string right here on this outside, I'm gonna take this around the outside right there, and then those two strings are gonna tie together. So let's put the seat forward here, and I'll give you kind of that back view of this now, because pretty much on the front side I'm done for a little bit until I put these other straps on the buckles. Okay, so now we got these straps through. There's 3 straps on the back of this. 2 outside straps, and then there's also a middle strap. The middle strap is just gonna go down to a spring and then come back to itself, okay? And the 2 outside straps are gonna go all the way forward to buckles on the front, okay? And we're gonna kind of work around this piece right here. This is for the side airbag. So I'm gonna actually come on the underside of that. Should be enough room to do that. You wanna make sure that you're not, really affecting any of your electrical controls. And as you're tightening things on, you try to leave everything in place and obviously functioning still for you. So you get this middle strap done first. So here's the middle strap. Again, I'm just gonna come underneath, find a solid bar, or even this one has kind of a solid plastic piece between two bars. I can feel it with my hand. And I'm just looping around that right now. Coming back to this one right here. And I'm gonna go through the middle section. This is how you always do these, middle section and then the outside. Middle slot, then the outside slot, okay? So going through that, and then I'm gonna cinch that down. Okay, got it. So that's really all you need right there on that. And that one, that's gonna keep that from ever sliding forward and moving around on you. Okay, so these straps here, I'm gonna feed those through just as far as I can go right now. And then I'm gonna get them on the other side when I get over there. So I'm just gonna push these through, and I'm staying as close to the seat as possible and trying to avoid getting any kind of pressure on electrical controls or electrical cords and stuff like that. Okay, so here's the two strings underneath here now. So you can see this one's through there, and I'm gonna tie the loop. We always tie a loop like this, and then so tie that loop off to itself. Okay, so you got that little loop right there on this one. And then on this one right here underneath, this is the one I'm gonna pull on a little bit more, okay, to kind of pull the slack out. And you don't have to pull real hard on these. This is more for aesthetics anyhow on these corners, okay? And if you pull this, you wanna pull straight back, because once you make this corner, it's kind of on a hard metal right there. And if I was to pull real hard right here, then it's just pulling right on that corner, that metal corner, and that can rip this. So I'd rather just kind of pull here, pull some of the slack out, then make that corner, and I'm really not pulling anymore. And now what I'm gonna do, just kind of keeping it taut, is I'm looping through that loop right there. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just kind of pull out some more of the slack. Again, not real hard at this point, just kind of keeping things taut. Pinch it with my other hand, and then tie it off to itself right there, and just some half hitch, I believe. You know, a lot of years in the Boy Scouts, but still have struggles remembering my knots. They're the names of the knots, you know. But anyhow, you're just tying those two off together back down there. And then to get that string out of the way, I just kind of tuck them up underneath the spring. Okay, so that string's done. The middle strap is done. We just have the two outside straps that go up to the front buckles, and we need to do those now. So we're gonna go back up to the front. Okay, now I'm just kind of pulling this front cover down, making sure these edges are rolling around the front there. I have my straps. Now, one tip for you on this seat, and some seats have this, some don't, but you can bring this up higher, and I should have done this earlier, and I didn't, but it's smart if you do. Bring that up higher first, because then that makes it easier for you to grab your straps underneath the seat, because it creates more space there for you. So here we go. Here's this buckle right here, and here's the strap that I just pulled through. I try to make sure the strap doesn't have a lot of twists in it as it's coming back. It's laying pretty straight, flat on the seat. Again, middle slot, outside slot. Okay, put it through right there. Then I'm kind of compressing this top hand's compressing as I'm pulling underneath there. And I'm just gonna pull it tight enough so that things look tight up here. If I was to do it real hard, you can start to get a little divot right there, a little crease, and you just need to get it taut, you know, and that'll hold it for a long time. I'm taking that strap now underneath there and just tucking it up underneath the spring, just to get the strap, the excess strap out of the way. Here's the next outside strap coming up to the buckle. Again, doing the middle slot, then the outside slot. Bringing that down, compressing here a little bit, right here, like this. And again, tucking underneath the spring underneath there to get the excess out. as you can see, that line's looking good right there. It's not super far back, it's not super far forward. So I got things lined up. The bolsters look good on here too. Things are tight right there. Good. So bottom is now done. I'm just gonna tuck up one other string, get it out of the way down here. Things look clean underneath here. And next thing I'm gonna do is bring this backrest down. We're ready to finish out the backrest now. Okay, so I'm pushing that through the seat right there. And I'm gonna bring that side around right here. Now I'm gonna go on the back side of the seat. Well, actually, sometimes you get it forward enough. Yeah, this one works. And then I can actually pull back with my other hand back here, and maybe you can see that view as well. So what I'm doing is I'm pulling this through right here, okay? So I got this felt flap, or this felt piece, the front side of the backrest cover, pulled through here. And I'm trying to even it out, make sure it's kind of crossing, or it's pulled flat on both sides, pulled to the corners. Now again, I'm going to try to work around this cord, this cable here. And I like to use, as I'm pulling here, I use my other hand on the other side to kind of push against the backrest, pull out the slack. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take this felt and just stick it right onto that Velcro. So you see what I was talking about earlier? There's Velcro right here on this bottom section. Now I'm gonna take this felt and just stick it right on there. Makes such an easier install compared to an old method that we had with lots of elastic straps. Again, I'm just working around that cable, that airbag cable, and trying not to pull on it too much. And pull that through. Yep, stick all that on right there. Okay, so once you have that stuck on, you're gonna take your original felt flap, you're gonna fold that underneath, okay? And I like to take any of these extra pieces and just kind of tuck it in underneath, just kind of hide them. But then you're gonna take these clips, you're gonna reach underneath, and those clips just clip back onto a spring or anything that holds onto them down there. They don't have to be real tight. Yeah, this little plastic clip right there. So, that guy, and then I'm just breaching underneath, just hooking it on. There's a little string or plastic underneath there that'll hug onto. So then that's on there, okay? And now, you can take this back flap right here, pull that down, just stick it onto that carpet flap back there, okay? So I got that down. You can see, I need to pull it over just a little bit. I noticed that, I had a little bit of extra carpet showing. So I pull it over right there. That lines it up a little bit better on the back side. That's covering a little bit better. Again, this is the rear fabric pocket. It's about 12 inches high, and you can put some jackets or Barbie dolls or anything for the kids back there that might need to go back there, okay? So, set up back there. Okay, so now we are putting on the side airbag. There's 3 Velcro pieces for the side airbag here. So just sticking those together now. Okay, like that. And then that one down there. Okay, so you still get full coverage on this side here, but that's airbag compatible. So if the airbags were ever to blow out, you can blow through that right there. Okay. So now we're gonna do the headrest. I can tell that this is the headrest cover here. This one right here, you just kind of look at the shape. It curves around. I'm looking at the shapes here. It's kind of skinny at the top right there, and then there's kind of a bigger bolster on that curve right there. So I know that lines up with this headrest on the driver's side. So get that lined up, and just gonna push this in here like that. Sometimes you got to compress these down. They can be pretty tight, but this material actually has a little bit of a stretch. We have another material as an option. That's a 600 denier non-stretch, and that stuff is super durable but not very stretchy. So this one actually is a little bit easier to put on than some of our other covers. Okay, so okay, let's get that put in here. Okay, nice. We got the headrests on, backrest, bottom. We are all done. That's there. Now, passenger seat is going to be the exact same setup, okay? So backrest, bottom, headrest, all the same. So just know that that's the same there, but the hard console lid is going to be a little different, okay? So let me show you this one. We're going to open this up. There's going to be 2 Velcro straps. They're going to keep it secured. And I'm looking at this, and it looks like this is looks like there's kind of a thicker or a taller back side and a shorter front side. So I know that this is the nose, front side a little bit skinnier up here. Okay, that's how I oriented that. And so these often you just gotta work them around slowly. There's a little elastic strap underneath here and it keeps it in place. I often will cut off the excess Velcro on these as well, just because that Velcro kind of gets in the way if you don't do that. Now, and before I yank real hard on that Velcro, it can rip if you pull real hard on it. So best thing to do, just kind of push it around and get it into place before you pull on that Velcro. So now I can see that all my edges are down along the sides right there. So now I can pull on that a little bit. Get it in right there. So now I'm just gonna take some scissors and just nip off, trim off these little extra pieces right there. But then that'll fit down right there and it protects that top lid from getting rubbed up. And this is it's called Soft Touch. It's a black Soft Touch. Super smooth, really nice to rest your arm on that. So I like that one. The same one I have in my truck. Now we're installing the backrest here. Again, this is the soft black Soft Touch material. First thing I'm going to do is I'm actually going to do this rear armrest cup holder back here, and grab that piece out of the box there, and I'm just going to pull this over like this. That little tab is going to come through as well. This seat back here is a 60-40 backrest. A lot of people ask, okay, what does 60-40 mean? Well, 60-40 just means that there's a 60% section and a 40% section. This one has the 40% section right here, and then the 60% section is over here, so the larger section's there. Okay, so when you place an order, we need to know the seat style. It's either a solid bench backrest or a 60-40 split bench. We often have you just send in a photo of your seat, and that really helps confirm everything up. Okay, so looking at this plastic, I may just leave it like that. Sometimes you can tuck this underneath the plastic. This one might be a little too tight. I'm not sure on that yet, so I'm just gonna leave it like that for right now. And here I'm gonna push this down. Got this strap out already. Just kind of working that up through there. So it gets a little tight right there, but all those corners should be working it in. There we go. Okay, now it's coming through right there. Kind of a sunny day here in Utah, but we're getting some rain right now. Looks like kind of a random rainstorm. We're in springtime right now. This is always different weather. Okay, so just working this bottom Velcro piece up. I got to get this bottom piece up before I can attach it onto this one. So I'm gonna just keep working that bottom. There we go. Okay, so I got it all pulled through now. And now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna lay this one back and down and pull this guy up. Once it starts sticking, it gets a little tricky. So I'm actually gonna take my gloves off just because I need to feel this a little bit better. There we go. I'm just gonna put that middle section on right now. Pull that, get that corner on. Nice. Nice. Okay, sweet. Armrest done. Okay. This will get a little tight when I put that other cover in because of the extra material right there, but it's all good. Now, next thing I'm gonna do is pop off the headrests, because I need to do that to get the backrest on. And I'm choosing to do the backrest first, just because I kneel a lot on this when I do this install. Yeah, although it's fine to kneel on the covers, but I always take photos of them after, so it's nice to not kneel on them right before I take photos. Okay, folding that down right here. It's gonna have all the cutouts that you're gonna need for everything. Just getting everything pulled over here. There's the cutout for that attachment right there. You can see here that all these different cutouts, they're all, just in the right place for everything that you might need. Lesser covers, lesser quality covers, they don't do stuff like that. So this is the high quality stuff. That's why you pay a little bit more to get high quality, but everything's gonna look a ton better. Okay, next thing I'm gonna do is get these headrest pieces put in. Okay, there's one. There's the next one there. Okay, nice. Okay, this is the next piece. It's a little tricky as well. This one can take a little bit of time, but it's this inner flap piece right here. Some people, you can just leave it loose right there, and that works. I try to get it in and kind of tuck it underneath the plastic if I can. Sometimes that can be a little tricky on some vehicles, but we'll see what we can do on this one to see if we can get it tucked in a little bit more. Pushing that through, so I'm just pushing all these inner flaps through right now. And there's a little plastic backing on this. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take the tool and just push this underneath that plastic piece back there as much as possible. Again, sometimes it doesn't want to cooperate super well, but we're gonna do our best. There's a little space underneath there that you can get some fabric, and if you can get it in there and kind of get it to hold, which again can be tricky, if you can do that, then it kind of holds that inner flap a little bit better. Pull this guy up right there. Get that stuck down. Then this guy here. Stick that down. Now for this one. Okay. Okay, nice. So you can see, again, you still have access to everything here on the back. Could probably adjust that over. Looks like I might need to slide this over just a little bit here. Just got that lined up a little bit better around this guy. Make sure everything is clipping in. Nice. Okay, this is the 40 section backrest. We just finished the 60. 40 is the smaller one. Okay, gonna pull this over. This one's gonna be a lot easier because you don't have that armrest on it, so you don't have the armrest piece to deal with. Get the tops lined up. Okay, now I'm ready to do my headrest pieces. Okay, there's one. Two. Sometimes there's these little strings, just a little from the foam, from cutting the foam. It's not a big deal. Just kind of wipe that away and finishes out nice like that. Okay, now I'm ready to pull this front down nice and tight and push this through. Again, there's 3 little pieces that I need to push through here. There's one large one in the middle, small one over here. That small one in the corner always seems to be the tough guy. I'll get a hold on to. There we go. Okay, 1, 2, 3. We got these 3 pieces here. Gonna pull that nice and tight. Right there. I'm actually gonna lay all these down first, like that. Okay. Take this guy down first, right there. Okay. Give this one more good pull here. There we go. Pull that around there. Nice. Good. Okay, 40 section backrest done. A lot faster than the 60 section backrest. Let's move to the bottoms now. Even though it was a split backrest, this is a solid bottom seat here. So what we're gonna do is, this is the bottom cover here. But first thing I'm gonna do before I start installing is I'm actually gonna loosen up this bottom section a little bit. Now I'm not gonna remove the whole cover, the whole seat. You could do that if you want to. You take the whole thing out. I got a video on how to remove that, but really all I'm gonna do is loosen up the front sides. And this particular model, there's just 2 clips, one about here, one about here, and you just feel underneath where it's real firm and you just pull up with a good firm pull on it, and it pops up like that. And there's these little clips underneath that lock it in right there. Okay, so now that I have the front up, that'll help with things to kind of make sure I got everything formed around here correctly. And now you could probably install this even without doing that, because there's not any straps going underneath the cover. So there's just a string going around the back side and a Velcro on the back here. So again, you could probably do that without popping that up, but I like to pop it up and just get it set up there. First thing, I loosen up those strings because we're gonna have to tie our knots around them. Okay, and now I'm gonna start getting this guy on here. I'm gonna pull that forward because it's gonna loosen up the space there, allow me to push that through a little bit better. Kind of working around the seat belts right now as well, because I don't want to cover those while I'm installing it. Again, you could remove this whole seat. It may make it a little bit easier, but there is a bolt. It's bolted down on the back side. So I'll show you how to do it without having to unbolt that. Okay, pushing everything through, kind of lining it up as we're doing that. Okay, I'm going to work this side a little bit more over here. Kept kneeling on the seat and I pushed those clips back in. Now what I'm doing is I'm pulling these through down here, and I'm not going to stick it yet because I'm going to just kind of get it lined up, get it ready to stick down to the carpet, because I want to make sure everything on the front is lined up before I stick it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tie a knot, tie a loop in this one right here, just like that, and then I'm going to take it underneath there and then loop that other one around and then pull it, and then that's going to tie it up just like that right there. Okay, so but I'm going to tie it up a little bit closer underneath here, so you probably won't be able to see that, but I'm going to tie that loop off. Again, you could take this whole seat out and it might simplify your job, your install job here a little bit more, but right now we are just going to do it the old-fashioned way, without taking the seats out. And most of the time, you never really have to take seats out on any of these installs that we recommend. Some of the side-by-sides, yeah, you might want to take those out, but most seats you don't. Okay, so I'm just kind of using my best judgment on how tight to pull this. I'm just really just getting this kind of taut, so the string is taut on the corners right there, so it'll hug that down right there. Okay, so I got that, pinching it off there, and then I'm gonna finish this knot right here. Okay, there we go. Okay, so got that locked up. That whole string, that's just gonna hide underneath there, so I'm just gonna push that underneath. Okay, I can lock that seat back down now. Now, I'm just gonna make sure everything's lined up. Then stick that Velcro down on the back. Okay, so just trying to pull everything back here, nice and tight. Again, haven't stuck any of this Velcro down just yet. Getting ready to though. In fact, I think I'm gonna stick this middle one down now. Right about there. So sticking that Velcro down. Again, this is the bolt. If you want to remove that whole seat, just undo that bolt and the whole thing's gonna come out, okay? You don't have to do these bolts, that's for the upper seat, but just that one, for that bottom seat. Okay. So I got that middle section stuck down now. Now I'm gonna get this side. Again, just making sure I'm just on the front side over here, just kind of looking at things, making sure I get it pulled back enough. And again, it may be a good idea for you to take this bottom seat out, just because it's a little tight for your hands in here with some of this, but whichever method works best for you. Okay, now I'm sticking this down here. There we go. Okay, so that Velcro's stuck down on that side. Now we're just gonna get this guy right here. There's kind of a tight corner again, like that I was working on this other side. I want to try to pull that down as much as I can for that corner right there. Okay, that's all sticking down good right there. Okay, sweet. Nice. So now we're putting on the rear headrest. There's two outside, larger headrests. I know that this one kind of curves down a little bit longer right there, and I'm looking at this headrest, and there's curves down a little bit longer on that front side. So I know that's the front there, and I'm just gonna work this guy around. Kind of compress that headrest as I do it there.